Hello, everyone, and welcome. Kim Stewart here with this week's live moon card readings. As you come on, jump out, say hi. I'd love to welcome you. So, we are in the last phase of the moon cycle, so coming towards the dark of the moon, where there is the dark moon or the empty moon, some people like to call it, where we don't see the moon at all. And of course, that's time of retreat, it's time to go inward, and it's time for completions. So just noticing that within yourself. It's also Imbolc. This time of year is really, following the seasonal shifts. The 1st of August, or around the 1st of August, is known as Imbolc. And if you look out into nature and take your clues from nature, you will see the beginnings of the new growth. If you look on the trees, they'll be starting to bud. You might be seeing the daffodil bulbs coming up from the ground. So this is really a time to look at the composting that you've done and the inner work that you've done during the winter. We all have so many options that we can be following in our lives. So if we've done the work in the winter and we've really digested and looked at, what's where are we at now, what's serving us now, and of course it's about alignment and how that feels for us, then we come out of the winter very slowly. It's just that gentle starting to wake up that has us saying, okay, this is the line, this is where I'm putting my energy, this is what I'm following. So, nature is a beautiful opportunity for us to pay attention to that. So notice in yourself, even sit down with your pen and journal for yourself, where are those shoots for you? Where are you feeling the energy? Where are you feeling the excitement, the enthusiasm, the vibration towards, yes, this feels like the right pathway, and then start to take the action steps to go along that pathway. Okay, so please pop a comment in the comments there to let me know who is here. I always love to know. I can only see the numbers against the live. I don't know exactly who's with us. So let's pull an overall card, and there it is straight away for all of us to see what the overall theme is. And this card is beauty, which is exactly what I'm describing there. Slowing down and looking at nature, seeing what you observe when you're out in nature, seeing what really speaks to your soul and to your heart. And of course, this requires us to be less busy in our minds so that we can actually pay attention to what is around us. So that's the balancer. That's what's coming up as the balancer for us today, to pay attention to the beauty. Alrighty, so let's hand it over to you. Who would like a card reading? Pop a yes, please, in the comments. Hello, Heidi. Nice to see you. And we will start to pull some cards for individuals. So again, just popping your comments there. Beautiful. Oh, good on you, Heidi. You're always so good, aren't you? Letting your sister know that we're live, which is great. Hey, Alison. Nice to see you. Okay, let's get going. All right. Alison, Heidi. Now they're moving. All good. Okay, well, let's start with Alison. Let's see what's coming. Oh, and it's jumping out at us, Alison. So, okay. Boundaries. So remember, we may have talked about this before, but we're right here, right now. So as of today, this is about the boundaries today. So looking at that, boundaries for yourself, that I'm feeling more that it is boundaries about others. It's turning away from that which you don't want to be putting energy into. It's simple to not respond at all is one way, or shift it into, a loving kindness way, but really being clear about that for yourself. In fact, it's interesting that on a Monday when I come into the office, I pull I don't have them right near me, but I pull a card from the Kuan Yin deck, and it was exactly speaking to this. It was telling me that there are some energies out there at the moment that could potentially pull my vibration down, but to stay strong in what's important to me and what is my truth. So I feel to share that so that that really assists you in those boundaries. So again, that reminder of the energetic boundary. Don't underestimate how important that is. And if ever at any time you're in a situation where you feel a bit like you're you want to be kind, and you want to be validating for the other person, but you're not entirely sure, and it just feels a little bit like it's coming in a bit close, just call on Michael. He's fantastic. He'll always move that energy for you, help shift it. Excellent. It's landed, so that's great. Okay, fantastic. Alrighty, Heidi, and you're welcome, Alison, as always. Let's see what's coming up for you today, Heidi. Oh, and it's exactly the same card, and it jumped out as well. So this is clear. There's some energies out there that maybe are pulling at all of us. And this is, of course, this is very natural. There's always the shadow side. If there's great growth and strength somewhere, there will be the shadow side that pops up. So this for you, Heidi, is really about that self-protection. You can only do so much for others, right? You must put your own bubble around you. So in your morning practice, that energetic bubble. And anytime during the day, if you feel like that's sort of, softened, or it's not as strong as it was first up, then just, close your eyes, ground yourself, connect in to the heart of the earth, and then bring those energies right up through all of your chakra systems, right up through your third eye, out the top of your crown, and then connecting right up, and then allowing that beautiful energy to cascade. It could be rainbow, it could be a particular color, whatever feels right for you, and do that for yourself, because we must take good care of us. The more sensitive we become as we are vibrating at this different rate, the more important it becomes for us to take care of ourselves. Hi, Fua, nice to see you. Regina, a long time no see. How lovely to see your name there. I trust all is well. Okay, anybody else like a card pulled for them this morning? Just pop a yes, please, in the comments, and we can do that. If there's a question that anybody's got and they would particularly like an answer of that, as always, I will pop the link in here for, let me do that while others are getting themselves organized, for a one-on-one reading. There we go. Pop back over here. I'll pop that in there. Excellent. Okay, where are we? Fua, absolutely. Heidi, thank you, Kim. That card is very relevant. Excellent. Hey, Jackie, nice to see you. And absolutely, you can have a card. Fantastic. So I've popped the link in there if anybody wants to book a one-on-one reading. Okay, Fua. Let's see what's coming up for you today. Okay, realization. So this is you're looking through at that from the night sky through the other paradigms. So what I'm getting at the moment actually around this is pay attention to your dreams. So I would, and I do, have a journal beside my bed always. So that if when I wake in the morning, I often get a lot of information come through my dreams. So I can write it down straight away while I'm still in that, just coming in phase. So you can have an understanding of it, because often messages will be delivered during your dreams. So pay attention to them. They're not just, whimsical things. Sometimes they can be, but pay attention. There's a lot of information that does come through. And if you really want us to set an intention around this, then, make that very clear when you go to sleep. Let your spirit team know that you're handing over a situation for them to gently and kindly bring you the information, and see what comes in your dreams. So that's the message for you today. Something, pay attention to your dreams. All right, Jackie. Okay, too many trying to jump out there, so we'll just ask for that to be a little clearer for us. Thank you. Okay, Regina, yes, you can have a card. Alrighty. Let's see, there it is. For Jackie. Okay, so this is the void. So this is the card for the dark of the moon phase. So it's sitting within that emptiness. So the emptiness could be, not knowing. You're welcome, Fua. It could be that you're unsure of a direction to take, in which case you're being asked to sit with it. So often we just, we live in this very fast-paced world, so we're moving. However, there's such value in sitting in that void. And even if there is a feeling of darkness, or there's a little bit of trepidation around that, just reassure yourself that all is well, and that there is information in sitting in that void. So much to be learned from that. So sit with it. As the dark moon is coming up, I would be also imagining here that that's being guidance for you to take some time out, and to, you might like to have a nice bath, or, light some candles, and, do a meditation, have your journal close by. So really, allowing yourself to feel into that space, because there's a lot of richness that's available to you there. So I hope that assists. Hi, Renee. Absolutely, you can have a card. Nice to see you. Caroline as well. Beautiful. Okay, so I hope that lands for you, Jackie. All right, Regina. Ah, that's great, Jackie. I'm glad that you received that. Regina, we've got 2 cards coming up for you. So, alrighty. So we've got creation, which of course is the conversation with your higher self. Other way around. Let's look at that for now. I'm confusing myself. Let's look at that one for a second. So you've got your higher self there. You can see the plans that she has in front of her. So she's having this conversation with her higher self. Now this is something that, or future self is another way to say this. This is something that we can all do. Now, really, you will get the answers, because you do actually have access to that part of yourself that isn't your mind. It is your higher self, your future self. And just ask, if there's something like, I'm thinking about doing this, what do you think about that? And then wait for the response. Now, sometimes that can just come through if you're open to receiving messages, through your audio sensors, then do it that way. You might use creative writing. So if you have your journal, you ask the question and then you write the response. But this is again about the energy that I'm really picking up on here is, we're all women. We all know that pleasing muscle that we have, where we do things to please other people. This is about what is it that you truly want. So strengthening that again, having that conversation, and then engaging your will to follow through on it. So, okay, that's the message. I'm getting loud and clear, so obviously that's been received. So we'll leave it at that. All right, Renee. You're welcome, Regina. That one on the top that's wanting to come. Okay, self-reflection. So you see here that what we've got there is, all aspects of ourselves. She's frontwards, backwards, and, the opposites of that, all connecting. And you've got the water there, which is the sign of the emotions. So self-reflection, this for you today is, Renee, is about acknowledging. So often we can judge certain parts of ourselves and make that wrong. We've been raised to be, good little girls, or, whatever that looks like. Women are more and more finding their voice. So part of that process is giving voice to all aspects of ourselves. So if you're pushing away the part that gets angry, or the part that judges, or the part that is critical, then you're not fully accepting all of who you are. So this is about acknowledging all aspects of yourself and allowing that to come and to have a voice. So I hope that makes sense for you. To really acknowledge all parts of ourselves, we've got to allow all of those parts to speak to us. Now, we're not going to act from all of those parts, but we do need to acknowledge them within ourselves. Okay, feels like that landed. Caroline. There it is there. Realization. So I still get this energy of burden for you. And we all have this, right? We have roles to play within our family, and we have dynamics that people have been used to us performing. And, I'm not saying that they have to be great, big, dramatic changes, but we do have to start to lighten the load. We've got to take care of ourselves. And I'll give you an example. Earlier this year, I was, running up to Sydney to, visit my dad and pay attention to his needs and what needed to happen there. Now, of course, there's times when we need to do that, but it was really starting to take a toll on me. Like with all parents, there's lots of unhealed wounds, and there's lots of things that come up. So required, for me, in actual fact, the Sydney lockdown became a bit of a blessing for me, because it put in place a boundary that really assisted me to step back a little bit, to put other things in place for him to ensure that he was being taken care of, but it wasn't draining my energies to do it. So I share that with you, that there are other ways to achieve the outcome, and it doesn't have to be you that does it all the time. So I hope that helps you. Let me catch up here. Renee, powerful. Thank you. Excellent. Yes, I'm glad that landed for you. Alrighty, is there anybody else that would like a card pulled for them, or do you have a question? I'll just let that catch up there while we wait for that to come through. The comments are a little bit behind sometimes. So again, this is a time to recharge your batteries a little bit, to be a little quieter. I very much live my life like that. The last 3 weekends we've been connecting with friends for dinner. We've had them over for dinner which has been really lovely, just one-on-one. It's a good way to do it well, we're allowed to do it where I am in rural New South Wales, just to connect with people. And then, I said to my partner, well, this weekend it's the dark of the moon. We won't be doing that. We'll be having a quieter time. What are some of the more inward things that we could be doing? Spend some time in silence in nature, and, be a little bit more gentle with the choices, just to allow our energies to, rest a little bit more, to recover a little bit more before we move into the next phase, because we are going to be coming out more and more as the light comes in more here in Australia. Obviously, it's the opposite in the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, well, I feel like then I've covered everybody that was here today. So that's wonderful. As I mentioned, I have put the link in there if you'd like to book a one-on-one with me. Otherwise, blessings, take good care, be gentle, use the cycles of life to assist you in life, and I'll see you again next week. Bye, everyone.